If you shut up, you just might learn something. Welcome to Elevate and Illuminate the Empowerment Podcast, episode 8. I am Jamarcus Fields, your host. I am the founder and executive director of Iron Sharpens Iron WAST. That is WAST. We are stronger together, where our mission is to empower and equip at risk youth and justice involved individuals for successful reintegration into society. You can tap in at Iron Sharpens Iron WAST. Again, that's WAST.org to our website to kind of keep up on events that we got going on around the city, around the state, um, and just kind of keep up with what we got going on. But back to the empowerment podcast. Again, this is episode 8. Our goal is to inspire, to enrich, to uplift, to motivate, and to empower our communities in a variety of ways. So we come and we touch on a lot of different topics to inform and give our community a lot of the knowledge and information that may be lacking for individuals that just want to do something better and enrich their lives and the lives of their families. So that's what we do. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Uh, Give my guest a chance to introduce himself. So go ahead and tell the people who you are and what you do.
My name is Raymond Johnson. Y'all can call me Ray. Everybody call me Ray. Uh, I did 20 years in prison. I got out maybe 8.5 years ago. Uh, Went to school, owned got a 9 to 5, out here thriving, trying to support my loved ones. Man, we out here doing it, living the right way, bro. That's what we on.
Absolutely. That's the key right there, living the right way. I tell people all the time, man, especially when you've been on the flip side of that coin, man, that peace that comes with living and doing it the right way, man, I often ask myself what took me so long to figure it out. Man, for real. So you say you own your own HVAC business. What is the name of the HVAC company?
The name of my business is Ray's Heating and Cooling. um, I actually started in prison. I started studying HVAC in prison. Uh, I was a maintenance man, and so when our units in prison break down, they would call in companies and service and fix our units. I got to looking at them, and in my eyes, I'm thinking of alternative ways of making a living for myself, because the conception was we couldn't get jobs and we couldn't do this, that, and the third. My family, how did you become this? You know what I'm saying? And I asked many people that, many technicians that, and they all gave me the same answer: just go to school. You know, and me in prison, I was used to. I've been to college, so I got a couple degrees from prison. So to me, school was easy. It wasn't a
Right.
hard deal. It was just reading and comprehension. So, I got that in my brain. I said, well, while I'm still locked up, because at this time I had like 5, 6 more years. While I'm still locked up, I'm just gonna start studying and getting books and reading up on how this actually works. And maybe because I see it every day, maybe I could put my hands on it and mess something up here. That way, when I get out here, I could be, I could be all to the good. So that's what I start doing. I start ordering a lot of books. I start reading. I'll read it, and start. I'll read it again. It's got because a lot of those books are technical, and if you don't take certain classes at certain points before certain books, that stuff will seem kind of you won't really comprehend it like that. So you just be reading it, reading it, reading it, trying to comprehend what I asked a lot of questions while I was inside with the maintenance guys and the companies that came out. And that way, when I got out, I was ready to go to school and really learn what I needed to learn to be successful.
Wonderful, wonderful. I can tell. I understand that concept of why you're inside and how valuable that time is to do something constructive with that time and not just
Mm.
sitting there allowing yourself to be warehoused.
Yeah.
So first, I salute you for taking advantage of the opportunity and doing something constructive and progressive with your time. Now, you know, we both were able to accomplish our college education while were incarcerated. That has since been something that they've taken out of the facility. So now, a lot of the guys find themselves in the same position, as if they were out here. So for a lot of individuals that may question, like, you know, okay, I can't afford the education or to go to school, like, what would you say to them? Are there any type of programs, or any particular type of grants or anything that you may have used or that you could advise people to take advantage of?
Well, on the inside, uh, you can still go to college, but it's different. You know, when we was inside, we had grants, and they would give us grants and things, and we was able to go to school. Now you have to pay for it. And you got the type of money, but college. So it's really all about yourself and what you want to do with your life. You really don't need college. College has opened your eyes to a variety of other things of learning a variety of things. If whatever's in you, if you want and you want to come out here, you want to do whatever's in you, you need to start studying now. Start studying that shit. Get the ins and outs, of everything that you could possibly get. I mean, we all have people that send us books. We can all go to the library, order books. You know what I'm saying? We and research the things that you want to get involved in before you get out here. It's fast. It don't.
Right. Hey, I don't know if you're in a I don't know if you're in a bad spot, but your reception is off and you keep freezing. Um, I was able to catch most of that. Okay. So in the, hopefully you can hear me. If not, I have to repeat the question. But I'll so for our listeners that don't have justice involvement and that are out here and have just been working, but they're in the mind frame of wanting to start their own, but again, they, you know, they have a certain skill set that they want to cultivate, but they can't afford again to go to school or take classes. What advice would you give them?
Well, I went to school for free. I didn't pay anything. I went to school on the inside for free. I got out. I went to school on job source. You can go to work one job source. They will fit the bill for you. The make a way for you. If it's something that you just thought of and you have a business that you want to get off and running, then they really gonna look at you funny about that. But if you trying to get some skills, some marketable skills in a trade, then you can go to Job Source or Work One, whatever it's called in your city, and get you a casework manager, and they'll put you in a program that's gonna pay for 2 years of your college, which usually that's all you need. Not only that, they give you money for your first tools. They gave me $1,000 for my first set of tools for school. So
Okay.
all that was free. The only thing the only thing I had to do was keep I think it was like a 2.5 GPA or so. That's like a
Hmm.
C plus or something. You know what I'm saying? And with us, we already trying to be overachievers anyway. So I was 4.0 all the way. But at the end of the day, anybody that's out here that really want to go to school, all you gotta do is go up there. It could be something that you just want to change your life. You don't. It ain't got to be the thing that's in your mind. You can go there and research the stuff that they gonna pay for. Like, you know what? I'm gonna try that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. Right now is a time for people like us to really soar. I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, COVID killed a lot of people. It killed a lot of people. I don't know if anybody was affected by that. And if you was, my heart goes out to you. But COVID wiped out a lot of our population. And two, uh, it's hard to find workers in the trades. It's so hard to find workers in the trades. Now that, maybe back in the day when everybody, had good jobs and all that, you had tradesmen, maybe it was harder to get decent jobs. And it was harder to really break in places that's gonna give you a shot. But now they ain't got nobody. So now they looking for alternative ways to to hire people because they need people. They need people. And they need people like us because big companies bust their head, man. They can't really afford them. They can't afford them. So they need an employee, somebody that can come pay $35, $40 an hour to do that work versus paying these companies all these thousands and hundreds of thousands to do the same stuff we could do.
Right.
So now is really right now you and people like us are in a really good position, man. We have to get a skill set. We have to get marketable skills so we can actually go market ourselves and be like, look, this is what I know, this is what I go to school for, something that's gonna outshadow our past. You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted, you're still gonna be companies that's gonna shut the door in your face. Ain't nobody, everybody ain't gonna give you a shot. You have to understand that first and foremost. You're gonna get rejected. That's just what it is. That's the nature of it. You're gonna get rejected. But I guarantee you that somebody gonna hire you. Somebody gonna give you that shot. And once you get that, I'll be able to get a job. I got a 9 to 5 too. I'm a utility supervisor. I make 96 grand a year off my 9 to 5 with benefits. I started out making $24 an hour. They I never thought that I would get a job like that. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, it's really, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But you have to have the skill set to fit that mold. If you ain't got no skills, you ain't got no skill set, you ain't gonna get that shot. And the only way to get that skill set is to get that paper to say, look, this is what I've been studying, this is what I know, these are my certifications. You know what I'm saying? I can do this job, you know. And that's the only way you're gonna get them shot. They ain't gonna give you no shot without that paper. You know, you need something to
Right.
tell them that you got a skill set. Because a lot of times it ain't even a lot of skill set they can build upon. You know, that I'm doing high pressure boilers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to school for RO systems. I go to school for industrial air compressors, air dryers. Schools for HVAC technician, and they just because they see my ethic and they say, you know, we can get behind this guy. This guy's a good employee. He takes care of the things that he takes care of the things that we ask him to. If he can't, he's upfront about it. Like, look, I'm over my head, man. I can't do this. A lot of people they sit there and they just bust their head. You gotta understand when you over your head, bro. You know,
Right.
it's like, look, I need help. You know, can't be too prideful not to ask for help. You feel me? But
Right. So so first, audience, y'all hear that? Job source, work one, whatever it is in your city, tons of opportunities. You go down there, see what kind of programs they're offering for free that you could take advantage of. Get to a case manager, get signed up for some classes, do some studying. He became a business owner, got certified and trained for free because he went to search and find out what was available and what he could utilize that was for free. For the people that are listening that hear you say to get some sort of a trade, what are trades? Like, what are some examples of trades?
example of some trades: you have electrician, you have HVAC, which is heating, air, and ventilation. You have welders. You have CEC. You have CEC is the making the tools and die casting and all that technical stuff. You have IT. Uh, you have pipe fitters, which pipe fitters is the highest paid trade. People just running pipes. It's the highest paid trade. But in my we have pipe fitters at the plant that I work at, and they are very knowledgeable. They're bigger guys. You could tell this wasn't plan A for them. Most of them, everybody got tattoos, and you could smell weed on them and shit. But they very knowledgeable. I'm like, they had spit some shit at you, like, how the hell you come up with that? You know, ain't no flow
Right,
rates, and they calculating things, we're going through pipes and sizes, and they're very knowledgeable, bro. But they don't trade, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, you got uh there's more out there that I'm probably aware of, but those are the top ones that I've researched myself or read about and thought about myself. Because at first I just wanted to be an electrician, and then once I start diving into HVAC, I seen the HVAC damn near was an electrician.
right,
HVAC is so sought after because we got three trades. We know electrical, we know HVAC, and we know plumbing. That's three trades. That's why a lot of companies, you go to a lot of companies uh, that need an employee. If you say you HVAC, they snatch you up because you can do a lot of things. You don't have to just work on HVAC units. You can work on a plumbing thing, or you can know how to diagnose an electrical problem. Stuff like that. They teach you all this at school, and they make you very handy, very handy. You know, it when I was going to school, I'm over there fixing and running circuits and everything for her. She's like, "How you HVAC? How?" I was like, "Nah, I'm an electrician too. Don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of this, mama. Just sit down. I got you. Don't worry about
I got you.
it. I got you. Just sit down. We're gonna get this together. We're gonna make it all right. You hear me?"
No doubt.
But yeah, man, they they was trying to get me to pay. They was, but I just coming out coming out of prison. I just didn't see I couldn't see myself just getting in debt like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a small thing and you don't have to pay for this amount of years and all that. I just, at first that's what I was gonna do before I start researching and all that. I was just gonna go to school, get in debt and do that thing. But I was like, man, let me research and see, what's out there for me. Because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know, you know. And it's way more stuff than I even know they're telling you about. I'm in Indianapolis, by the way, and a lot of people just don't ask questions.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? they well, we don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? We man, I'll be where I'm at today without people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people. So good people, not just immediate family, not just my mama, but good people that gave me a helping hand, taught me whatever. So humble yourself out. Whoever watching, humble yourself out and ask for help, man. Period. Ask for help.
That part. And ask for help. Speaking of asking, everybody that's listening, if you have any questions, anything to add to the conversation, direction, guidance, or anything, be sure to hit the chat with those questions, and we'll bring them to the table. Make sure your questions or your thoughts get shared or answered. We already have a couple comments. Great trade. I learned just from watching, and local 213, which in my limited knowledge, I'm assuming is a union.
Yep, that's a union. That's to be honest with you, I've never worked for an HVAC company. Uh, when I was going to school, they wouldn't hire fellas. Now it's changed because they looking for people like I. But I would never,
Right.
me now knowing what I know and having what I have now, I wouldn't work for HVAC company, but I would tell people to start there. Start there, get the knowledge because you run into people that's been doing this for 20, 30 years. That knowledge is very helpful to you once you try to build your brand up and your wealth of knowledge and your skill set. But the
Right.
the best the best route really of any trade, the best route to go is a union. It's the longest route because it takes like 5 years to get to that journeyman status. My brother went through the union. He's a journeyman electrician now. He makes pretty good money, but it takes 5 years to get to that journeyman status. And while you're an apprentice, they really don't pay you nothing. But the wealth of knowledge that you get while you're an apprentice and going through that is very valuable. You could tell even from myself, and if it was myself and another HVAC guy that been through the union, you could tell his worth of knowledge is 2, 3 steps ahead.
Right.
Years and all the secrets that you gotta learn by yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah, That's your best shot. Them union jobs they pay the most too, and they give you the best pensions and the best uh, insurance. They just good all around. They just real good all
Yeah, sound like a lot of security comes with that as
around. Yeah.
well versus trying to
Mm-hmm.
do it by yourself and everything on you.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. I didn't
Yeah,
learn that until I was in the game kind of deep. You know what I'm saying? And, uh, but it ain't nothing to go to a union hall and fill out that application, give them that application fee, and get your foot in the door. Now they got a list. They got a list, and but eventually, even I would caution, like, if you got kids, just, out of school and kind of lost, don't really know what they want to do, man, you take them to that union hall, get their paperwork in. It's gonna change their life. That's gonna change their life. Everybody in that union, man, they doing better than 90% of the population, bro. And that's a 9 to 5. You know,
right.
the HVAC technicians working for a union, they at 38, electricians at 40, and the highest paid union workers is pipe fitters. I think they at 45. So
Mhm. So union advice, good comment, Summer. Thank you. So what would you say?
and that's just right now. It's gonna go up.
Right, no doubt. What would you say was or thus far has been, your greatest obstacle in this journey?
Man, it's sad, man. I mean, it's sad because I'm making it sad. Really, probably ain't really that sad, but your greatest obstacles, well, and be able to be successful with that. My greatest obstacle was the people that love me the most,
Mm,
and it's sad to say because they don't know they do it. They just don't know they do it. They love you so much, they put their fears on you. Everything is a caution, you know. Oh, you don't want to do that, this, that, and the third. I'm like, I don't care. That's where I need to go, so that's where I'm going. I,
right, right.
the front door, and she looked at me. I look at her. She said, "Where you been?" Focus how I would let that change my trajectory. You know what I mean? But me, I'm like, Mom. I told her, I said, Mom, you can't put your fears on me like that. Them is your fears. If that happens, then
Wow. Okay. Um, so we it looked like we got two different components. One is, definitely in informing yourself and figuring out what's out there and what opportunities are, available to you. The other one is educating yourself, literally getting in some classes, getting in some books, studying, um, getting the hands-on education. And then, for some it's either the union, or working for a trade company and starting your own business, which was your journey from the beginning. So I want to kind of talk about the business journey of actually launching your business and what that journey was like. Because just like a lot of people look at the education, and a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, some people are intimidated by the learning process
Yeah, yeah.
just as well as some people are intimidated by the business journey and getting it started, not really knowing what moves need to be made, um, how to become, a legit business, the whole nine. I came home, I went the nonprofit route, but what stagnated me in the beginning really was just not knowing how to get started.
Okay, so doing a trade thing, you don't need a lot of startup. Vehicle I had with a little pouch on there is my that was my tool. I had my torches and everything. That's all. And I want to say I want to say like $90 a month for 100 1 million liability. Standard is a million. I got a 2 million right now, but a million is a standard for working. If you own a business working for, let's say, I want to come do HVAC for Jamichael's Iron Sharpens Iron. So standard is $1 million liability unit insurance. Um, Now the thing is clientele, or better yet, let's go back. So just because you go to school for something doesn't make you when you finish going to school for that, it don't make you that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like This is like me going to a basketball camp after that camp. Oh, you still ain't shit. You feel me? You might learn some fundamentals and how to build upon that, but you ain't shit, you know. So same thing. You go to school for whatever you go to school for, trade wise. After school, you still ain't that. You know what makes you that is getting out here, uh, experiencing the real life stuff because school is in a controlled environment. They got labs inside that's gonna teach you a lot of stuff. And that's controlled. Out here is not controlled environment. In school, you can just pull up, sit down, and braze. Out here, you damn near you might have to braze some shit standing on your head or something. It's hard to reach. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get creative. So it's a difference. Uh, it's a different thing out here. So when you done with school, what I don't know if it was a divine intervention. I don't know. I'm a believer, but I'm not like a fanatic. I'm a believer in a higher power. I think it was divine because I was sitting after I got my insurance. I had got my insurance. I was working at the school for a work study, working in the HVAC lab. I got my insurance. I started Raise Heating and Cooling. It's an LLC. I'm sitting in my computer at home and I'm thinking, how am I gonna get business? How am I gonna, just get some revenue? So I'm thinking, and what popped in my head was warranty companies. I don't know how, never thought about a warranty company a day in my life, never even said that word. But I typed it in. I typed it in Google, and about 20 warranty companies came up. Boop, 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 boop. And the top one was Choice Home Warranty. The second one was American Home Shield, and the third one was
Right. Wow.
I can remember sitting at the house 3 4 hours trying to figure something out. And then an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Call me an hour and a half. Head moments. You're not only gonna learn what's the problem, you're gonna learn how that problem came about and what you can do to notice that problem. Next thing you know, I was working with Choice.
Okay. Right.
I
Right.
And a lot of property owners get warranties because they don't have to pay a lot.
Right. Right.
Don't even got with 8 rooftop units, 2 conventional units, and 2 mini splits off off of off in the yeah. Man, I got this building, man. I might spend maybe 1,000 filters, $100 just to change the filters. Get 3,500. Don't let something be broke.
Right. Right.
Business in, be your business, your bank wherever you bank at, and open a business account through your LLC. Business when it's tax time, you just go through your business deb and see what you spend together, hand it to your tax agent, have them. You better keep some decent records because you get to playing with them. They gonna bust your head for real. They ain't playing. They want their money. That tax fraud is a whole different ball game, James.
Right. A-
Yeah.
Absolutely. We just got another comment in the chat. So, bro, you got to run this back. It's skipping too much, and Ray has a lot of much needed info to help. I didn't know if that was just on my end, but it definitely you've been glitching and freezing here and there. Um, um, I want
How can we get it better? We can set it up maybe another time and get a better. I'll probably just is it glitching on your end or just mine?
it's on my end too. A little bit.
Okay.
I've been able to follow, but for those that don't really know the story, they may have missed pieces of that. Um, so thanks for informing us of that, Darvish. Appreciate it. Um, so I wanted to ask when you sprung into this, like I heard, you talked about, one of the myths that we used to deal with while we were incarcerated, and that's, people telling us that, there weren't jobs and, people weren't hiring, so forth and so on. You know, what were some of the myths going into that space that you may have heard, and some that were, you got into that space and like, straight myth busters. Like, ah, man, that ain't even what I thought it was.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, I'm not I'm not like a real spiritual guy, but I am spiritual, and I think that myth was from the devil from inside, because that myth, the myth that we can't get jobs out here, the myth that we're gonna be the working poor, kept people's minds on negativity inside. If they knew what was out here, they would probably act better, knowing that they had a chance once they get released. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, the first job that I got, I didn't take. They offered me $16 an hour. In my mind, this was like 7, 8 years ago. It was McFarlane something. It was a food plant or something. But they offered me 16, maybe $17 an hour to work on their walk-in coolers and freezers.
Right.
Now, mind you, all the guys that I'm going to school with, they getting jobs 25, 28. And I'm smarter than these motherfuckers is cheating off me. I'm smarter than y'all. So I felt like, that was below what below my standards. So I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna wait it out. And that pissed my mama off because she felt like projecting her fears pissed her off because she felt like that was one hell of an opportunity for someone like me to get a job. But me, I felt like, I was better than that. And lo and behold, the job that I got now, they called me for an interview 2 weeks later.
Right.
And they started me off at 24. So, you know, it's jobs out here. People gonna hire you. You ain't got to even know. You can get a job and don't even have any skills. You could just be a laborer. You're gonna get a job. If you want to work, it's work out here. But the thing is, what
We can't hear you, bro.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was getting a call. What type of work that you want to do for one, and do you want a job that's gonna feed your family and have something for later on in life, 401k, retirement, all that? That comes from having a skill set. You need a skill set to get a job like that. You just ain't gonna get a job like that for being a laborer. So depends. A lot of men, they go to prison, they work in the kitchen for 10 years, making 50 cents, 60 cents an hour, and come out and won't go to school for a year or two to change your life. Really?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't, I don't get the logic, but I see a handful of people out here that's, kind of struggling. And I tell them, man, go to school. What are you doing? Just go to school. I mean, you can drive a truck. You can do anything you want to do. You out here trying
Absolutely.
to. The crazy thing is that everybody that was we was incarcerated with that went to school, that got college degrees, out here thriving. They thriving.
Absolutely.
And it ain't the fact that they ain't thriving in the degree that they got it in. They thriving because they got in the they got the to actually go after what they want to do.
Right.
That's what college did.
Right.
Track mind. People be on still grown. They
Yeah.
50 years old trying to make plays and all this other shit. Like, I'm make play for the house, man. Y'all be up. Y'all be safe now. Be careful. I'm going to the house though. I'm making play to that house. I bet you that. You're
No doubt. No
what
doubt.
what I say, Blue. I pay tax.
That part.
Oh man.
Hey, so I got go ahead. Right.
It, it's a harder road than gonna be for a minute. You're gonna be down for a minute. It ain't hard, but believe me, once you get that piece of paper, and it's time to you you're another creature. Over with that shell. You done came out that shell to
Right.
another creature. Better watch out.
Know it.
I'm another creature.
You know it.
But yeah.
Um, so what is the process? What was the process like actually getting LLC'd? Like what is the process to do that? Like say a person has, they've gotten educated, they've learned their craft, and like they actually want to start their business and become official. What does it mean and how do you become official?
So LLC is just a designation, limited liability. S corp. There's a whole host of other designations that uh, I'm not really knowledgeable about.
Hmm.
The LLC though, it's as easy as going to Google, typing in how to do an LLC. It's a lot of programs that will help you get an LLC and get your articles of called, but help you be legal within the state.
Hey, real
Basically, it's
quick before you move on, what did you say? The article of what?
I think it's called articles of articulation,
Okay,
articles of something.
okay,
It has something to do with the Secretary of State recognizing your business as a legitimate LLC business. And
okay,
if you go up to the state house, your name, your business will, uh, you can ask for your business and it will be in that group. You know what I mean?
okay.
And all it is you pay a little fee, do some paperwork. You do have to have a name that nobody else has, um, and boom, you got a business. You attach your insurance to your business. You attach a bank account to your business, and you off and running. You can do anything you want to do.
Right. Okay. So, right.
What you made and who you messing with.
Okay. All right, all right. So we got a few minutes left. I think this has been very informative, and knowledgeable, and giving people some direction and advice for those that want to get into the trade and want to start their own business, and just to hear your route. Um, I think it was pretty informative for a lot of people. Is there anything else that you feel that we may not have covered that you feel that the audience should know, that'll help them in this process?
Man, just set goals, bruh. Set goals. Know your limits.
Right,
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be too prideful to ask for help. There's a lot of people out here that's gonna help you that is that is not looking for anything in return. It just wants to see you thrive. Um, and have
right,
it's easy. It's easy. I mean, it's easy. I'm still selling drugs, but my drug is air. It's different.
mhm,
Same principles.
Right.
You got to have tunnel vision, and that's where you're gonna throw a lot of people off because people ain't gonna understand yo and your drive. They just ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get it until you get like 3, 4 cars, all this shit. And like, whoa, yeah, this is what the tunnel vision was all about. Now we can focus on traveling and having fun a little bit more for a while before you reach that level.
Right. Yes, sir. All right. Well, again, I definitely thank you for everybody that joined us this evening. I thank y'all for y'all time. Thank you for the comments that came into the chat. Hopefully, uh, hopefully, I know y'all were empowered by that. I understand we had a few glitches in the broadcast. So if you missed out on some things that you were invested in hearing, this will be run back on YouTube. Make sure you tap in and let us know. Um, that you missed out on some things, as Darvis put in the chat, as far as us running it back. And if y'all hit us in the chat and this is what y'all asked for, I'll get with Ray and we'll set another date and we'll run this back and make sure y'all get that information that y'all may have missed. Again, I thank y'all for y'all time. It's always a blessing to be able to serve, to be able to build and enrich our communities in the various ways that we do. We wholeheartedly believe, we are stronger together. We were not put on this earth to live life alone. And I feel like when we pool our resources and we come together, that we become stronger, we become bigger, and we become better. With that, everybody have a blessed evening. I appreciate y'all joining in, and we will see y'all again next week, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Elevate and Illuminate, the Empowerment Podcast. Everybody have a blessed night.
Be safe.